So in the past month, I went to 4 different Timeleft dinners, and I want to quickly tell you about these experiences. So whether or not, so if you're thinking about going to Timeleft dinner yourself, you kind of get an idea if you want to go or want to not go. So before I start, I want to just like, if you don't know the app, it's basically you sign up for a dinner. The dinner is always on Wednesday. And the idea is that you get there with 5 other random people. So you're going to be 6 in total. Nobody knows anyone. And then there's the opportunity to make friends. This is the big selling point. And what is good about it is that there is no effort outside of that. I think you only need to pay like a little bit. I think like either you do one dinner for 13 euros or like 1 month for 20. So I went for the entire month, so I paid 20, which is fine. And one thing I want to say before I start talking about the dinners itself, booking always worked. So every time I signed up at the restaurant, there was actually they were booked, and every time at least someone showed up. So in general, the app, it does work. All right, now I'm gonna start talking about the dinners, I guess, and I have a few notes. So like the first dinner, it had this like random location that was out in fucking nowhere. It took me like 40 minutes to get there, and it was like some vegan restaurant, and they didn't have beer, which kind of sucks because I drink beer a lot, and I didn't get to drink this time. But yeah, outside of that, there were 5 other people. I think there were 2 guys and 3 girls, and all of them were basically the same age as me. I think exactly, actually, because I am 28 and all of them were 28 too, I think. And in general, I go there exactly when it is booked, which is 7. And at this time, there's always been or at least 1 or 2 people already. And then there's always some people coming late. So for this dinner, actually, everyone showed up pretty early-ish. So I think like 15 minutes past 7, everyone was there. And then the usual conversation starts, which is usually like, oh, what do you do for work? And some people will not shut up. Some people will not shut up about their work and just not shut up in general, but yeah, it's a different story. And anyway, yeah, the food was good. Also, the general vibe was a good one, I feel like. And outside of that, then like at the end, I always ask for everyone's number to make a group chat. So we did. And then in the group, when we were saying goodbye, everyone was very enthusiastic about meeting again. So back at home, I think a few days later, I suggested something to do. And a few people said they didn't have time. And a few people said nothing. So I waited a few days and I invited them to one more thing. And then nobody replied anymore. So basically, group 1 dead. All right. So for dinner 2 was at a way better location. It only took me 10 minutes to get there, which was great. and also at dinner 2, there was only 1 other person. So it was just me and this 1 other girl, and we were alone. And this was weird at first because we were waiting for other people to show up, and every time someone walks in, we were like, oh, this could be the guy or the girl or whatever, but no, it was just us. On the upside, however, we got to meet each other very well, get to know each other very well, I meant to say, and we actually ended up hanging out. We went to a local festival again, and ever since then, we've been hanging out, and we have become friends, so that is good. So actually the app did work. And on the dinner where only 1 other person showed up, this 1 person became my friend, so yes. And to be like, to tell the whole story, I think after 30 minutes some dude showed up, but like if you try to join a conversation and you're like 30 minutes late, it's not a good idea. And in general, I would like, if you want to go to these dinners, I would advise you to come on point, because it is so weird to come late because everyone has already been talking, and then like you show up and you know nothing. So then everybody has to tell something about their job again. And oh God, I fucking hate that shit so much. And every time it's my turn for all of these dinners, when they ask me about my job, I just have like a one-liner, and then I just point to the next person because I don't want to talk about my job. And I'm sorry that I'm ranting, but it's just so aggravating for me. And yeah. Anyway, and the other thing about the person showing up late, it kind of destroys the vibe for some time. Eventually it gets better, but it is always kind of like weird. Yeah, so be on time. I think you can match. So for dinner 3, once again, there were 6 people. There were 2 other guys and 3 girls. I actually met the oldest guy who was 38, so the app does match you with older people at some point. So like 10 years older than me. Yeah. And it was all right. However, I think there was one huge mistake. So in Timeleft, they have this game. And the game is basically, you can only access it during the dinner. And it is basically a series of questions. And in my opinion, they fucking suck. That's a little bit harsh. They are just normal questions. But the thing is, like, it is not a conversation if you're going through a list of questions. Like, one of the questions was literally like, how do you define success? Like, what the fuck? It's like such a, I don't know, so pretentious, deep question. Like, I don't fucking want to talk about this shit. I just want to have like random conversations and get to know other people. And all the other questions, I don't like them either. And like for this dinner, like the one person who decided to start playing the game continued playing the game for I think 1.5 hours. And it was basically just him asking questions. So like he asks the question, everyone has to take turn answering them. And it got boring like after 5 minutes, but he kept fucking going. And it's just sad because I think there was some sympathy. I'm sure some people liked some people, but because it was just like a fucking interview about random ass questions, it just fucking sucked. And it is, the question game is good in the beginning because it's then you don't have the awkward silence, but it gets so boring right away. And my personal opinion is the awkward silence is not bad, because if there is an awkward silence, somebody has to step up, somebody has to make some conversation, and this is way better than having this fake conversation, in my opinion. And yeah, at the end, once again, I asked for everyone's number. We got in a group chat. I invited them to one thing. My PC went out. Yeah, but anyways, I invited them to do one thing. Once again, a few people said they cannot come or they are not interesting. They are not interested, sorry. And then one other person eventually suggested one thing, which was the first time this happened, that somebody else suggested anything. And then I said immediately, yeah, I'm gonna come. And then eventually one other person said she will also come. And yeah, then we did this one thing. And I don't know. One of the 2 people I kind of liked. The other person, I could take it or leave it. And yeah, I also later on, like a few days later, I suggested a second thing, but this is like kind of my thing I always do. I suggest like 2 things. So in case somebody really wants to do something, maybe in the first time he really doesn't have the time, but on the second option he should have time. And if they are still no response, then it's obvious that they are not interested. So you can move on. And yeah, once again, the second thing I suggested, there was two people actually did say they don't want to come, which is surprising because I just expected nobody to reply, which is the way these things usually go in my experience. Yeah, anyway, dinner free, I don't know. Maybe I stay in touch with this one person, so maybe it could be worth it, but I don't know yet. All right, and then dinner 4 was a good location again. And the one thing that I didn't like, one of the things I didn't like about dinner 4 was that the food was so fucking expensive. Like I put in, like when you sign up for the app, you can kind of like put like a range how much you want to pay. And this restaurant was not something I want to pay, honestly. Like, especially not for this kind of event where it is not even about the food. This is like kind of like I ended up paying like 50 euros for not that, like just like one dish basically and 2 beers, I think, which is just way too much, honestly, for what it was. And you know, if you have like a very special occasion, sure, you can go to this restaurant, but like for this Timeleft dinner, I don't know, man. And even when I put like two, how do you call it? Like you can put like how much you want to pay, $1, $2, or $3, right? And then I put like 2. So I took the medium one. So I was very surprised by how expensive this restaurant was. But the people there were 3 other people. At first there were only 2, but the third person showed up late, which once again made it weird. But some people, they just never learn. But it was his first time, so I guess it's fair. This time I met the youngest people. I met a girl and a guy, both 22. So yeah, and it was okay, but honestly, like for this was the first time where there was a lot of not talking, just like randomly looking around, because there was just very little I can talk with this. We had in common, I guess, to talk about. Except for one person I felt like we did click. So this time I took the approach to just contact this one person directly instead of texting the entire group. And yeah, once again, we made a group chat, I guess. But I just texted this one person 2 times, both times no time. So this is not gonna go anywhere either. So to summarize, I went 4 times and I did make 1 friend. Maybe 1 more. And yeah, it is. So if you're thinking about doing it, I think you should do it. And I think there's a big reason. Hopefully I will not forget to talk about it, why it is good to do. But like, you know, you're not gonna go there and you're gonna get friends immediately, but like there's a chance that there could be friends. And I understand that you may be very nervous. I was too. I was very nervous the first time. I was surprisingly more nervous the second time. But eventually it got fine. It wasn't that bad anymore. And like once you're sitting down, like everyone is always nice. That's the one thing I can definitely guarantee. Everyone is trying hard to be nice because all the other people, they are nervous too. So it is a fine environment. You don't have to be afraid, which is a stupid thing to say always, don't be afraid. But you really don't have to. It has always been friendly people. So the last thing I did want to say, why I think it is a good idea, like for me personally, like I moved to this new city and I don't know, I basically don't know anyone here. And I want to get out more. And with these dinners, like once a week, then at least you are in a scenario where you're talking to multiple people and you get more comfortable talking to people. So even if it is outside of Timeleft, it is easier for you to talk to new people and it is just a good way to get out of your comfort zone. So even if you don't have direct success from the app, you can at least kind of develop your social skills in a way. So for that, I think it is good, and it is not that expensive. As I said, 20 euros for 1 month, that's 4 dinners. So like 5 for 1 dinner. That's not that bad, honestly. And again, the app works every time. So you just you can be certain that there's gonna be at least one person there in my experience, and that the table is booked, so you don't have to worry about, you know, the reservation being cancelled or whatever. And yeah, that is basically it. I think that, I mean, there's more I can say, but I've already been talking to 16 minutes, and I don't want to keep talking for another 15 minutes. I will actually make another video about it, because I wanted to wait every time whether the group turns into friendship, so I always had to wait like 2 weeks. So since then I have been on a 5th one. And I will go on a few more, because fuck it, man, I'm not doing shit on Wednesday either. Anyway, so I might as well go there and try it once a week. And I will go to a few more, and once I have like 8 or something, I will make another video, I guess. And yeah, that's basically the end of the video. Please like the video. It would be so cool. And if you have ever been to Timeleft, or you wanna go, or you have a question, just shoot me a message. I'm gonna assist you with my wide knowledge of 4 Timeleft dinners. And yeah, once again, thank you for watching. Have a nice day and take care. Bye.